Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dice Camera Action. Woo!
Hooray!
Before we jump in, I would like to welcome our guest stars today, Rachel and Erica.
Yay!
Those of you who watch the show are familiar with Rachel. She'll be reprising her role as Miranda. But Erica is playing a mystery character who will be revealed momentarily. So,
That's the scariest when that happens.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I'll just pop out and yell surprise.
Then you'll know.
Yeah.
Miranda, the elf druid, acquired the Ring of Winter and bore it away from the Waffle crew with the aid of two Shadowfell assassins and made their way by coach to the distant city of Gloomrot, a dismal Victorian-style coastal city in the Shadowfell. Convinced that the Shadowfell were sociopaths, Miranda ditched them and retreated to a convent run by Shadowfell nuns who had taken a vow of silence. Using the library in the convent, she began researching a means to destroy the Ring of Winter, while keeping the artifact hidden from the nuns. About a month later, stifled by life in the convent, Miranda stole several books and retreated to an abandoned house in the moors. And over the course of another month, succumbed to what sages call shadowfell despair, this overwhelming, pervasive sense of gloom that is inescapable, that you just sink deeper and deeper into like quicksand. Isolated and lonely, she used the ring to create an ice construct that she named Gwyneth. The ring, trying to impress Miranda, imbued the construct with sentience and life. Miranda didn't fall for the ring's seduction, but she adored Gwyneth, this woman of ice who is immune to the Shadowfell despair. Miranda and Gwyneth returned to Gloomrot to break into a library and steal more books from Miranda's research. But they had trouble accomplishing this goal by themselves, but were befriended by an out-of-work Shadowfell parlor magician named Zolto Mingrazi, also known as the Amazing Mingrazi, as he liked to refer to himself, who used his magic to help them acquire the books that they needed. Miranda's research finally bore fruit as she learned the secret to destroying the ring. Unfortunately, she needed the ring to keep Gwyneth from melting, putting her in a bind. Miranda decided that Gwyneth was more important to her than the ring's destruction, despite Gwyneth's best efforts to lift her friend's spirits. Miranda's despair seemed to be getting worse and worse. Miranda couldn't shake the fear that the Raven Queen's agents would soon be upon them. Which leads us to the present. Miranda and Gwyneth decided, at last, to leave the Shadowfell, to flee with Zolto's help. With agents of the Raven Queen bearing down on them, Zolto led Miranda and Gwyneth back to Gloomrot, and there, in a vast cemetery, dug up a grave and turned it into a portal. All of this happening under the watchful eye of a blood-red wolf moon. That's when Zolto betrayed Miranda. He snatched the ring, turned invisible, and disappeared through the portal, dropping into the grave. Miranda and Gwyneth pursued, the portal closing behind them. Strix, you are in the kitchen experimenting with your goodberry healing pie recipe.
Yay, it worked.
Well, no.
Oh, it didn't.
You're experimenting. You're doing it for basically for the first time. So you've prepared the pie and you've sort of put it in the oven to see how it's coming out, and you're just sort of staring at the baking pie, watching it every second to see what happens.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Diath, you're up in your room, sitting on your bed, looking down the bed at the chest, sitting on the middle of the floor, gazing at it longingly. Since you had a chance to inspect it a little bit more closely, you did notice that there was a very small etching into the, what do you call them? The iron reinforcements that help bind the wood together.
Yeah.
And it says, "Poor thieves, try as you might. This chest shall remain sealed tight." Evelyn, you are having a splendid dream of your childhood, cradled in the arms of your father as a young girl, just gently kind of swaying or rocking. It is only some time later when you awake with a start, and it isn't you that's rocking, but the ship that you're on. You are in a bed covered with purple silken sheets and beautiful silk pillows with a beautiful gold-tasseled canopy above you. And there's a portal on one curved wall, and you suddenly remember that you are aboard Jarlaxle's ship, and you are currently waking in his bed.
Oops, I fell asleep. That's all, just fell asleep here.
Paulton, you're...
In my feels from that recap, yes, I am. Good Lord.
You are tuning your lute. The lute that the Harper agent Matrim Merrig told you was being used by the Harpers as a listening device or an eavesdropping device.
Tuning my lute.
Yes, and there's a crowd of people gathered at the yawning portal to hear the dulcet strums of Paulton Seppa, local legend.
Hey.
I've talked enough. Anybody want to do something? I'm talking specifically to the Waffle Crew right now.
I'm about to put on a hell of a show. That's
All right.
what I'm gonna...
Yep. Would you say Simon is with you or not for this show?
Absolutely, he is. I'm
Okay.
gonna give him like a little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a loot.
Yeah.
By the way, you could by now have trained Handrew to also play the instrument or help you play the instrument. So you can drink a beer while stringing the instrument and still have your other hand.
And that would only make it way more impressive.
Right. Yes.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Okay, cool. So Andrew will be on the neck of it while I'm strumming and just downing wine. And what's not can I give Simon like the little finger symbols?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, he'll do those. He's good at those. Anything which he can just click or bash, he's really good at.
Sweet.
All right. Yes.
Speaking of loot,
Yes.
I've got this treasure
Hey.
chest.
Yes.
I like to imagine that Strix is just not moving. She's just staring at this pie, maybe willing it to be
Yes.
good.
Albie sort of drifts into frame and just sort of floats next to your head and stares.
And she goes like this. She's like,
It floats back and he just stares at the pie with you.
all right,
And he's salivating.
I'll just give him a snack. Like this is normal.
This is Strix's tiny albino beholderkin we're talking about.
Yes. I'll give him a scritchin too. A scritchin.
All right. Sorry, loot?
Yeah, so I am
immediately intrigued by this fact that this chest claims it cannot be opened by thieves. It's a good thing I'm not a thief then.
Yep.
So I would immediately like to inspect it for any and all possible mechanisms that could spring any kind of trap. Also, this was covered in like starfishes,
Yes.
or at least a couple.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull those aside so I can give them to Strix.
Okay. So
Yay!
you remove the sea life from the chest and you inspect it. Make a perception check.
Okay.
It does seem to have what looks like a customary built-in lock on its front, but your check might reveal other things.
Perception is 22.
Okay. This is no ordinary lock. You think that it is extremely complex. Lots of tumblers deep in there to challenge and defy lockpicks. Who knows? There might even be there are some other curious mechanisms you can make out in the lock that you've never seen in a lock before. You can sort of divine that they too are part of its defensive mechanism. There are no traps that you can detect from the outside of the chest or by peering into the lock.
Cool. I am so fascinated.
It's like Strix is looking at the pie and like cut to DF looking at this chest not moving.
Cut to Evelyn suddenly
waking up.
Get you someone
tossing blankets off of her. So Evelyn, you are in this perfume-scented bedchamber that you, it's ostentatiously decorated. It's borderline. It's on the verge of tasteful to gauche, but you're struck by a particularly large field of wardrobe doors that dominate one entire wall of this cabin. And there's a big mirror next to a vanity that you can see yourself in. And you can see you got bed head. And you obviously slept very soundly.
Oh,
for part of the night, anyway.
Lathander. Oh no. Is there anyone else there?
Nope. Your armor bits are kind of thrown over a chair parked near the door.
Evelyn looks around for like a piece of paper or something she could write a note on.
Yep.
And she writes.
That's when you notice there are some like muffins on two muffins on a platter on a small table by the chair that you can smell them, so they're fresh. Somebody must have come into the room and left them there for you.
Ooh, nummy. And she like takes out the paper and she's like, "So sorry I fell asleep. Thanks for the muffin breakfast. So kind of you. Loved chatting about Lathander last night. Could talk about the Morning Lord for hours. LOL. Heart, heart. Isn't Lathander the best? Glad we're friends. See you at the temple. Love, Evelyn, servant of Lathander."
All right.
Oh my god.
Second guessing, cross out love, sincerely, no, warmest regards, no.
Pen pal.
And then she takes the muffins, puts on her armor, sneaks a look in his closet because boy's got wardrobe, and she got to check out. She gets the sense that he might be some serious fashion inspo, so she checks that out.
Yeah. He can give Lando Calrissian a run for the money in the capes department too.
Ooh. She's like, maybe
And the boots.
are like the next trend.
The boots. Oh my goodness, the boots.
She takes some serious hashtag inspo.
Yeah.
Although she's not as into the decor, she's a little bit more with, the desaturated, dried flower kind of thing with their house. But she takes note. And then she cheerfully heads above deck.
Okay. The other thing she notices is that although the portal's sort of round, and there are actually two in the room, they are just wide enough that she could theoretically squeeze out a portal if she so wanted to. Not saying you'd want to, but if you didn't want to go topside, that's another way out of this room.
She doesn't see any reason why she should not go.
You'd strap on your armor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she gets all ready, smooths her hair in the mirror.
Okay. Strix, so the good berries that you used, were they created using the good berries spell?
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, technically, Strix could do that spell.
How so?
But
she's got it on her list?
She could do it because it's on the cleric. Isn't it a cleric spell?
It's let me double check that just to be.
Or is it a
absolutely
druid
sure.
spell?
It might be. I know it's on
Oh,
the.
but-
I know it's on the druid list. It is
No,
not.
then
Not on
she
the
can't.
clerics.
Then she's just asking the neighbor for them.
Okay, she can get them from Fala.
Yeah. She
Okay.
thinks that Fala hates her.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true, or is Fala just angry? Or
No, she's just, or they, I should say, they are just private.
oh, okay. Well, then if Fala gives Strix some berries, Strix will, leave them gifts.
Yeah.
Bring them gifts for the berries, like just nonsense
Also,
things.
Fala knows that all your other neighbors hate your guts, and if she were to show you any visible compassion, they'd probably hate her too. Hate them
Okay.
too. I'll get the pronouns right eventually. So yes, you can get the good berries from them and
Okay.
use them in the pie that you baked. Make a performance check for your pie.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Do I add that's my charisma bonus, right?
In this
Or do
case,
I-
I would like you to use something other than charisma. Let's
Okay.
go with wisdom.
Okay. That's okay. That's plus nothing, 18.
Okay. The pie seems to come out just fine. Smells good.
Oh, good. No one's hurt. So also, if they're going to be little hand pies, so you can just eat them.
Oh, okay, so there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a bunch of little ones.
So you
yeah.
take
And
them
maybe,
out,
like-
you put them underneath the glass in the display. And
Yeah.
as people come in, they sort of say, oh, what's that? That's new. What's that?
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's a healing pie. Are you hurt? It'll fix you.
We're not hurt.
Do you get hurt?
Not here.
That you don't know that. Anyone can get hurt anywhere. Would you like me to tell you about being anxious? Because that's what that is. And she just goes on a spiel about how
they leave.
anywhere could hurt you.
They leave.
Oh no, no, they're really good.
And throughout the day, people ask you, why would they come? But yeah, you get the same spiel over and over again. People, they're interested, and then you tell them it's a healing pie. It's like, but they don't need healing, and so they
Okay.
don't buy the pie.
Then I changed the sign that says it's a healing pie special for adventurers of Waterdeep, and I draw a little adventurer that's a stick person with a sword.
Okay.
Yeah. And I make it all glowy with prestidigitation and my glowing quill, and I make it shiny and put it in the window. And I go to, I don't know if everyone's back yet, but I go and ask everyone, does this look like an adventure to you? And it's just like a really poorly drawn.
Yeah, Squidly probably doesn't think they look that great, so
I don't ask Squidly.
maybe the kids the kids will draw you some new.
You don't need to.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm happy to have the kids draw some adventurers
Okay.
for me
They will
on the
do-
sign.
They will do that at a table.
Perfect.
All right.
Oh.
Okay, so you market it toward adventurers.
Yes.
Evelyn, when you get topside, you can see that the crew, which consists primarily of humans, maybe you spot the occasional half-elf here and there, just doing, tending to the matters of the ship, but they're very laid back and casual, and they don't seem to pay much mind to you. You do not see Jarlaxle in your travels, but there is somebody here who is wearing what looks like a captain's hat, who is chatting with the bosun's mate. And this individual is Captain Lorath Farn. I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. Tarwind Arryhook is his name. Captain Arryhook is, you overhear him talking to the bosun about going to the shore in a dinghy this afternoon to do some gambling. Apparently he likes to gamble.
Were we at the shore when she got on the boat?
No, you were teleported to the boat.
Right.
You stepped into a shadow with Jarlaxle and he bore you here, so to speak.
Do I see? Do... Chris really likes that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was not expected. I couldn't believe it was coming out of my mouth even as I said it. Okay.
Do I recognize, like, are we off the shore of Waterdeep?
Yeah, you are in the middle of the harbor, a good distance away from the shore of Waterdeep.
Cool. Do I see any reason why I would need to interact with this captain?
Not particularly, unless you wanted to arrange passage on a dinghy, which you probably don't because you have your winged boots, but...
Nope.
Okay.
I don't need no passage. Also, she feels like it's super rude that she accidentally fell asleep on the ship and overstayed her welcome. So she kind of is just like, oops, and just boop, jumps over the side. Yeah.
All right. As you're sort of skimming over the water toward the shore, make a perception check.
Whoop. 18.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so you leave the ship, fly off toward the city. As you sort of cast just a parting glance back at the eye catcher, you see something in the water underneath it, and you're not exactly sure what it is. But the sun just catches a gleam of something that looks like it's parked underneath the ship, under the water.
Well, I gotta go check that out. So she does another wide circle back around to the ship and just kind of skims over the water, like next to the boat.
Okay.
Not getting back on the boat, but just kind of like checking in the water.
Okay. Some of the crew members are kind of watching you because you're a flying, a flying woman.
Hi, good
around the ship.
morning. May the morning Lord shine upon you in this dawn and all forward.
As you circle the ship, you can see that there appears to be another vessel mounted underneath it.
What's this?
Crab-shaped?
She just is like, if anyone's looking at her, she's like, what is this down here underneath the boat?
You can see there's a little bit of discussion on the ship now. What languages does Evelyn speak?
Elvish, Common, and Celestial.
One of the humans turns to the captain and says in Elvish, "She knows too much." And the captain says, "We can't touch her," in Elvish. And then turns to you and says in Common, "It's nothing. Pay no mind."
There's definitely something. I see something down here. Did you not know there's something stuck to the bottom of your ship? I can go check it out if you want.
"No, it's quite all right. Go back to shore, little bird."
Okay. And she just dives underneath the boat.
your eyes narrowing like.
All right, as you
And
dive down.
What she's going to do is just look like she's going back to shore, but she goes under the boat instead of going over the boat. So she's just going to go poosh, and see everything that she can underneath it and then come back up and bye and go back to shore.
Okay. You can see attached to the underside of the eye catcher is a submarine. Not that you know what that is, but it is essentially a metal vessel that has large wings coming off the side. It looks like it's modeled or designed in the form of a manta. And it's got windows, big windows on the front and smaller portal windows along its sides. And it is lit within. You can see light coming out from inside of it. And the whole thing looks like it's about... Let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, about 90 feet long and about 30 feet wide. Well, actually, with the wings, it's even wider. It's as wide as it is long.
I'll swim right by the windows. Do I
Okay.
see anyone in there?
Yes, you see drow.
She waves.
They're not looking at you. They're engaged in conversation or dealing with other things. You're out in the dark water.
Okay.
So you can see them because they're lit, but they can't see you unless you go right up to the glass.
No, that's fine. Is Jarlaxle there? Does she see Jarlaxle?
Does not. You see a female drow, a male drow, and then you see a second male drow on a flying deck. The front of the ship is a 2-level bridge. And on the upper level, you can see a drow. On the lower level, you see gnomes, little gnomes, about 2.5 feet tall, scurrying around, and all kinds of mechanical apparatus that they're operating.
Can I roll an insight check to see if I can figure out anything about like what their purpose might be or their intentions?
Absolutely.
That would give me 22.
You believe that the gnomes are basically engineers. They're doing what appears to be maintenance and systems checks and things like that. You don't know exactly what they're doing, but that's the kind of the thrust of it. You can see they've got little tools and toolkits that they carry around with them. The drow aren't doing anything. They just seem to be either guarding it, watching it, or basically in a holding pattern. They look like they're just waiting, and they kind of look bored. Your insight check gets the sense that they're stuck down here and probably have to remain here until they're told to do something.
I meant more like what would this ship be for? Like, is it a warship? Is it exploration?
Unclear. You think your best guess is that it's stealth. Given that there are drow inside it, that makes sense.
Meaning because drow like to stay hidden and kind of work in the shadows, or because there is a lot of prejudice against drow, or...
Right. It is unusual to see travel underwater, but this environment makes sense for them. It's dark, and nobody knows they're here.
Okay. Evelyn finishes her arc and comes back up. Hi.
They don't wave.
They're probably just busy. She pauses along across the water.
All right. Yeah. Strix, the signs are made, so the display is up, and you just have to wait for some adventurers to wander in to sample your list.
Give Squidly one of those spinning signs. Like the street corner signs.
Okay.
Like Quiznos.
Yeah. I give him one of those like street corner signs, and I'm like, Squidly, pretend this is a gun and go outside and spin it around. And it says like, healing pies for adventurers. Well, the one and only good berry pie.
It's like, hell yeah! Can he please like try a roll performance to see how good he can like flip?
Yes, yes, but it'll be a performance based on dexterity. So actually just roll a d20.
Yeah. Okay.
This is just such a good image.
17.
Okay,
Nice.
he gets good at it pretty fast. Yeah.
He's like doing like the single hand like flip catches and just woo. Where like you can't actually read the sign.
Yeah. You can't actually tell what direction the sign.
So like obviously this is eye catching and like, oh, he's good at flipping paper. All right, and that's it.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Great. And then Dieth, haven't touched base with you.
I would love to just real gently get my lockpicks all up in there.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Go ahead and make a check. Sensing a
And just
theme.
for the record, Dieth is very much aware that he is shirking off all of his other responsibilities,
Of course.
but this is for him.
Please tenderly whisper your insanely high roll for this.
29?
Okay. You start to get your lockpicks in there, and then you hear a grinding noise, and the lock actually destroys them.
Oh.
Oops.
Awesome.
So you pull out the little stubs that used to be your lockpicks.
Yeah, just like,
Ting,
oh,
ting.
okay. All right, okay. Looking through like the rest of my lockpicks. Anything else? Even like the anchor I would use for all the tumblers would probably get ground up too, so I can't use that. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna open you up. Just you wait.
All right. Miranda and Gwyneth, you appear, you sort of fall just like a foot, and you are standing in the middle of a bright, sunny park that is dotted with tombstones and mausoleums, but it's all very beautiful. Unlike the cemetery that you just left, which was foreboding and foggy and decrepit with leaning headstones and plundered tombs, this place looks pristine. Alabaster walled mausoleums with beautiful vine-wrapped statues, manicured trees and shrubs, and there are people wandering about on the little hillocks and on the cobblestone trails among the graves. They're pushing baby carriages, they're lovers' walks, there's an old couple looking at the birds. This is some sort of weird cemetery park, but it's not so big that you can't see the walls that enclose it, and behind those walls you can see the rooftops of buildings, suggesting that this walled cemetery is part of a very large city. But
Do we see the magician anywhere?
You do not, but as you recall, before he stepped into the portal, he turned invisible, so he may be invisible nearby. And the sun, it's a warm day, and Gwyneth, you feel the sun beating down on the ice that is your body, and you start to glisten and shimmer as the heat begins to very, very slowly melt your form.
Well, first thing, I'm going to run to the nearest shade.
That you can do. There's a tree that's offering abundant shade about 20 feet away. And that seems to, you can tell that you're not suffering in this place.
Do you want me to try and get to higher perspective?
No, not yet. I'm gonna run up to the nearest person and grab them by the shoulders and very
Okay.
frantically say, "Have you seen a magician?"
This old woman gasps, and then she sort of stops, and then she kind of looks into your eyes, and she just gets calm, just sort of this elven calm that you can, even though you're panicked, she's just captivated by your beautiful eyes, and she just stares into them and goes, "I haven't seen any magician."
Okay, never mind. Sorry to scare you.
What does he look like, dear?
What does he
Or
look like?
she? So Zolto Mingrazi is a Shadowkai, so he's like this ghostly, gray-skinned elf. But he is dressed sort of in this Victorian mantle cloak. Black, as many Shadowkai favor, is his preferred color, and he's got a top hat that is weathered and worn. His cape is got red velvet lining on the inside, and he wears gloves and he has a monocle that he sometimes puts in one eye.
If I use detect magic, would I be able to see the ring?
Within range of the spell, yes. And the range
Yeah.
of that spell is limited.
Yes. I'll go ahead and just use it to see if he is within range.
Okay. He is not within 30 feet of you.
When we had been, prior to the portal, prior to the betrayal, did I get the sense of where he might be going here?
That is a good question. Make an insight check.
Okie dokie.
And actually, Gwyneth can make the check as well. Gwyneth, you don't have insight as a skill, but you can still make a wisdom check.
Ooh! Ooh! First roll of the game, and it's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
Stop. Wow.
Yes, we're starting good. All right, that's
Okay.
it. I'm done. I
Yep.
can't roll anymore.
Yep. So, if Zolto, this charlatan who won his way into your heart by helping you for several months, it's possible that he actually may be an agent of the Raven Queen. Many Shadowkai are, in which case this was sort of a long con to get the ring. It dawns on you that before you left the Waffle Crew, they had occasionally mentioned to you where they came from. They came from the city of Waterdeep. And if the ring is somehow trying to figure out a way to get back to Paulton, maybe Paulton is here and maybe this is Waterdeep. They never mentioned a large cemetery per se, but you know you're in a big city and you can smell the coastal air.
I'm going to turn back to that old woman that I'd grabbed earlier and say, "Is this Waterdeep?"
Yes,
What's
dear. Yes, dear. This is Waterdeep.
Okay, that's a start. Do you know a very sad-looking drunk man with a crazy instrument or a
You're describing
tiefling
two
who's-
of my past husbands. Can you be more specific?
a tiefling who's a little dirty but very sweet?
A tiefling who's a little dirty but very sweet. No.
No. Man with the he's got like a never mind. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll be.
Do they have names?
Yes. It's Evelyn and Strix and Paulton and Diath. They were my friends.
Evelyn, Strix, Paulton, Diath, Paulton.
Yeah. He's the one that does the do that I was talking about.
Paulton Seppa, the musician?
Yes. Yeah. Where is he?
Oh, he's everywhere. The broadsheets won't stop talking about him.
That's not helpful.
And she says, "Oh, if only I had one of those broadsheets with me. I could find out where he's performing."
It's a what?
He's a musician. He's performing in the city to sold-out crowds.
Are there flyers? Is there something I can find? I need to find him.
Well, dear, if you go into the city proper, on any street corner you can find a broad crier. Maybe they can help you.
In the middle of her talking, Miranda leaves and she goes to grab Gwyneth and just walk away.
Okay.
As long as she has a direction, she's done.
That's when the woman sees this almost crystalline figure hiding out underneath a tree, and she just sort of gasps and collapses.
Oh no, that's I don't have time for this. Don't die! And then she just leaves.
And Gwyneth, are you going with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to stick to the shadows as much as I can.
Okay, hopping from
I'm gonna-
shady spot to shady spot.
But if I pass the old lady, I'm going to say, I am so sorry.
Okay. And
I don't know what happened.
you kind of make this kind of very soft, almost melodic crackling noise as you move, which you're totally accustomed to, and Miranda's as well. But it must seem strange to these people because you start to see other folks in the park have noticed that the old woman has fainted. They're not exactly sure what happened, but they see a elf woman and a ice woman moving away. And so they sort of go in toward the woman to make sure she's okay. And as they lean down to help her get back up to her feet, they seem instantly suspicious of you. Like you had something to do with this woman's fainting spell. Like maybe she was robbed.
I don't have time to stop and talk to them, so that's fine. They can
Okay.
be suspicious of me all they want. I don't care.
Okay. And the two of you make your way to the edge of the cemetery, eventually following a path that leads you to one of the gates that lead out through the wall to the great city of Waterdeep beyond. And then what do you do?
I'm going to find either a bulletin board or something with notes flyers, anything, or any kind of town crier
Literature. You're looking for literature. And you start to run through the streets for broad criers and posted words and things. So Waterdavians are known for being pretty tolerant. It takes a lot to turn their heads. A elf leading a woman made of ice through the streets is not something they are accustomed to seeing, and so all eyes turn to you. Wonder, just amazement.
I'm going to stop in a shadow and take my cloak of many fashions off, and I want to make it into something that is thermal, something that will keep heat out, and has a hood and will disguise Gwyneth.
Something white would also be appropriate.
Yeah.
Like one of those picnic coolers that has like the
Yes.
shiny stuff on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you cast that over Gwyneth, and suddenly she takes on the form and semblance of a figure indistinguishable from most of the humanoids in the city. You've sort of, you can still see her hands and her face, of course, but she is for the most part cloaked, and you think that this will help repel some of the heat that is bearing down on her when she can't find a shady spot to stand in.
Okay. I'm going to grab her hand and continue forward, trying to find anything that'll lead me to the group.
Okay. Paulton, thou ist performing splendidly, but make a performance check aided by Simon, so you get advantage.
Okay.
Aw.
Simon's charm goes a long way.
22.
Okay. Another spectacular performance. You enthrall the crowd at the Yawning Portal Tavern, which is packed. There is a big well shaft in the middle, as you know, of the Yawning Portal, which plunges down into some deep, dark dungeon that you hope to never go into. And but there are all these tables around, and then on the balcony overhead, there are people leaning down to hear you, leaning over the balcony to catch sight of you. Lots of and hand waving and all kinds of adoring men and women and other creatures. This all pleases Dernan, the proprietor, because lots of ale being sold, and earns the envy of some other musicians who have to follow you. And you wrap your set. You hop off your stool. Simon hands you a towel, and he dabs his own forehead, and your throng is eager to buy drinks for you.
Fantastic. I'm like trying to like walk through a crowd, just like, excuse me, sorry.
Yes.
I know. That was great.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
And you've had Simon's got his little jester cap out, and it's full of money that people have just thrown into the hat. So he kind of ties it off like a little sack.
I was hoping he'd like wear it as just like big and just bulging with coins.
That would be. I guess he could stuff them down because it's a jester hat. He's got these long bits that the coins could sort of hang in, and so he's just sort of jingling and jangling, and it's sort of being pulled down tight over his head.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is anyone disturbed by the severed hand? I'm just curious.
No,
Okay.
it's part of the act. It's cool. It's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like the Addams Family. Everyone's like, yeah, that's normal. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, and you throw yourself down at a table with your fans gathered around you. People want signatures, all that kind of thing. Drinks come in freely, constantly. What do you call waiter? Basically keeps the flagons. As soon as one empties, another one shows up. It's all been paid for. Some nobles, young and old, come by to congratulate you. One of them hopes that you'll perform at his cousin's birthday party in 3 months, and blah, blah. You're not taking any of this down. But you have somebody to do that for you.
It's like,
Yeah.
at this point, like, it only takes 10 minutes just for Paul to be pretty plastered. And it's just like, my agent, they have an email that, we don't have that. They'll be in touch Probably. Yeah, I hope your cousin has a great bar mitzvah. Okay.
And then in the chaos, as you're sitting around the table and people are moving around you, a dark figure moves to sit across from you, and you see that it is a Shatterkai. Long white hair, gray ashen skin, pointy ears, bloodshot eyes, crooked smile, and a monocle. And he pushes a black silk handkerchief across the table toward you and flips it open, and it's the Ring of Winter.
Alden's just immediately just instantly sobers up. He just yells out. It's like, everyone out right now, clear out.
There's so much noise that it's hard to even hear.
I was hoping that would go a lot better. Is the owner or whatever around?
You can't see him, but he's got to be behind the bar because he's always behind the bar, and the bar is 10 feet that way, but there's just this wall of moving people between you and him. You might catch occasional flashes of him through the crowd. Your groupies don't understand what you're telling them.
I'll at least try to get everyone at the table to clear out.
Okay.
Be I need everyone but this one to leave. Go.
Okay, they will leave. And so you do have this. You're not feeling the crowd pressing around you anymore.
Mm-hmm. I just kind of.
Time seems to slow down a bit.
Oh, of course it does. I kind of look up. I am in either ring. I just kind of point to it, gesturing can I?
It's yours. It's meant to be yours, of course. My work here is done.
You're gonna stay there though.
Of course, I will stay here. My name, I am the amazing Mengrazi.
All right, well, we're going to go with the to be determined Mengrazi, because right now I'm not getting amazing vibe.
She says you're funny, the Raven Queen. Oh, you know her. Good. Excellent. Well.
Do you have credentials or
He flips you his card, like he was just waiting. It just comes out of his sleeve.
Oh, okay, great.
He puts his top hat down on the table. A little rabbit pokes its head out. He stuffs it back down.
Who's gonna ask? So, can I pick up the ring just to see if I believe that's really the ring?
Sure. As soon as you do, it attunes to you. And your eyes go blue. And you can see all down your hand where you're holding the ring, and the veins all go glowing blue. And you can't let go.
Okay.
Dang it.
So this is the real deal. Good to know. I'm trying to. Right. So I try to just hold it as far from me as I can.
Yeah.
Just to not actually put it on. So
that's when a metal hand grabs your wrist. And you see a robed figure with alabaster white skin, almost angelic features, black hair, with an articulated metal hand and arm that goes all the way up to his elbow. And he just clenches your wrist so tight that your hand goes numb. Roll initiative.
Oh.
But he was a chicken.
For an hour.
For an hour, he was a chicken.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Yawning Portal's got a lot of people in it tonight.
Ah, yes, that artifact that controlled me and made me almost kill my friends. I should
Let me
pick
touch
it
it.
up.
I should pick it up with my hand.
I gotta make sure it's the right one. I gotta lick it. I gotta make sure.
I thought it was gonna be fake.
That was a
Nice of you to help him like that.
my initiative was a 17.
Okay. Okay, where is, sorry.
I love Fulton's attitude.
Mm,
Okay. What do you do?
I like
You
to
are
look at
you're
him,
grappled.
and I immediately recognize him, right?
Yes, you confronted him briefly at House Growlhund.
He was the one I counterspelled.
Yes.
Ah, I turn him just like, oh, D&D Thanos is back. Great. Okay, like, hi. How? Don't. I know you're very excited about him being here too. It's like, before I do anything, is this like a we could talk it out situation, or do you see?
Thank you for bringing me my ring.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm going to. Quick question: since last time, have we taken a long rest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know.
You are fully loaded in every respect.
All right, sweet.
I went down. I went down. It was the ring. I'm blaming the ring. It was the ring. I got too excited. I got too scared.
Mood.
Cool. So I'm going to go. So it's just.
And you have
so everyone-
you're fully attuned to the ring. You have all of its powers.
Okay, let me just bring up an old email really quick.
Yep.
Nothing in particular.
Oh no.
Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast Bigby's handmade of ice and just try to punch him in the face.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so Bigby's big hand of ice.
Mm-hmm.
Kapow. Since this is a clenched fist, make a melee spell attack.
Okay. Is it still +9 to hit?
It sure is.
Okay. Okay, that is
A big icy hand manifests in the air
that is a 24.
and punches Manshoon in the face. Okay. So roll your damage.
Okay. What's the damage on that? I don't have that.
So it'll be 4d8 cold damage.
Okay. 16.
All right. You punch Manshoon for 16. He is still grabbing onto you. Looks like he has
Dang
more hit points.
Cool.
Okay. Simon will, at least for the moment, crawl under the table.
Good boy.
Handrew leaps on Manshoon's face.
Yes.
All right. That shocks, as Handrew clenches onto Manshoon, that shocks the wizard enough to break his grip on your wrist.
Sweet. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, wait, no, it's not my turn. Just
It's not your turn. All right. At this point in time, not to be left out, late for his performance, fellow members of the Waffle Crew, Diath, Evelyn, and Strix come into the establishment asking if Paulton has, when Paulton's coming on.
The entire the entire way as we're traveling there, you just hear like GF's voice getting closer and closer to her, saying something along the lines like, "I don't want to watch this show. I want to go open that treasure chest. He eats lockpicks. Do you have any idea how cool that is?
Hang on.
No one's ever opened it." And then they get there.
Keep that.
But
Keep
we're
that.
already late.
Keep that thought.
Eyes.
We
Yes.
promised we'd go to a show. We're already late.
Yeah. When
I
you
have
when,
these
when you when
starfish
you walk
though.
in the door, one of the bouncers says, "Oh, you just missed him. He just wrapped his set." You're like, "God damn it."
Sorry.
And that's through the crowd. You can see Paulton sitting at a table. This ice fist just smashed some guy in the face.
Oh.
Not again.
Do I see them?
You do.
We
just
roll
holding-
initiative if we're trying to
You
get in
can.
there.
No.
I spot them and I'm just holding the ring. I'm just like, hey guys.
This isn't what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like.
Strix just drops the starfish from her eyes. Like,
I'll catch you up later. We're in trouble.
Strix?
That's a 12.
12. Diath?
20.
20. Evelyn?
10.
10. Okay. But that you guys will basically get in after next round as we cycle back through. Manshoon. Is... Why not?
We get.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I can give you reasons why not. Let me go through the list.
So we all feel a little scared when Chris just says "why not" about what he's gonna do.
Is feeling especially forgiving and walks
He
away.
also casts Bigby's hand, but his is a big metal hand.
Oh my god!
There's
Hand
like-
fight.
There's two fists in the air doing that wrestle
Yeah.
thing where like they grab each other.
Thumblr.
And he is going to try to use his to grasp you. And he rolls a 30 on his attack roll.
Okay.
So you are in the grip of his metal.
Is that 30 an attack roll?
That's an attack.
So wait, no, that won't do it.
So since you are, he actually has advantage on the attack roll, but never mind. Anyway, 33. So you are now grappled, and he will then use a bonus action to have it slowly crush you,
Oh, good.
and that is going to be. Oh, spellcasting ability modifier. Okay, so that will be 15 points of bludgeoning damage as the metal hand crushes you. And this hand is huge. It's like an 8-foot hand that's got you bodily. The chair that you're in is basically crushed to flinders, and you are in its grasp.
Okay, as a reaction, I'm going to use cutting words, and that means I get to roll my inspiration die to take that much off the attack.
Great. Off the attack or the damage?
Damage.
Okay, great.
I think that says it. Yeah, attack roll, ability check, or damage roll.
Okay, great.
Does that mean you just insult him?
This doesn't hurt.
It's like, I'm fine, I'm good.
Your head sucks.
Shit.
Mine's better.
That's a 7.
So take 7 off, you take 8.
Cool. It's something.
All right.
So my cutting words after it's like 10 damage, I'm just like, hey man, if your next attack could do another even 10, that'll put me at 69 HP, and that'd be really funny.
And
Your cutting words are memes.
Oh yeah.
I shall take that ring off your crushed corpse. And then
It's like, not if
He-
my friends have anything to say.
he then turns to the crowd and says, "Flee! Flee if you value your lives!"
Oh, it's can I flee?
And people start to panic as this big ice fist and this big metal fist are present, and this wizard is screaming at them.
Paulton like insists again. If my friends have anything to say, that's the cue.
Manshoon will point to the Shadowkai magician and say, "Kill him."
Who? Me? I just met him.
You don't know who he's talking to until two invisible creatures suddenly, actually, no more than that. 8 invisible creatures
It's a little more than 2.
appear
Yeah, that-
all around the yawning portal. Some are up in the balcony, some are in the corners on the ground floor, some are standing only 10 feet away from you, Paulton. But they are giant demonic creatures with green skin. They stand about 9 feet tall each, their wings folded tightly behind them. They basically look like big green demons, and each of them is wielding a great axe.
good.
And one of them will immediately push through the crowd over to this Shadowkai and make 2 attacks against him, hitting him both times. Another one will do the same, hitting him once. And I'll just take average damage. You can see that the Shadowkai is bloodied under this barrage of axe blades. Now, you can see that the way that these creatures are all moving suggests that some of them are mirror images. And after these demons attack, these images all sort of coalesce around them and shuffle around so that you can't tell which one is the real one and which one isn't. And then they kind of split off again and stand in different parts of the room. All right, that is their turn. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so back at the top of the initiative order, Dieth,
Hello.
you are not Dieth. You are a doppelganger impersonating Dieth. You must attack the Shadowkai,
What?
as Manshoon just ordered you to.
What?
Strix, you are not the real Strix. You are a doppelganger Strix working for Manshoon, and Evelyn, you are not the real Evelyn. You are an Evelyn doppelganger working for Manshoon.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, Dieth,
Oh.
you do not have magical weapons,
No.
but you have ordinary counterparts.
Okay. All right. Well then.
And then the real Evelyn decides to go see Paulton.
Okay. So this Dieth makes his Dieth way up to the Shadowkai Diethly, but doesn't know how to Dieth and does it in such a very poor fashion.
Yes. Now, I've got your statistics. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Okay.
I just need to know your intent, and then I'll tell you that you need to roll an attack with a +6 modifier to the d20 roll,
Okay.
and you'll do your normal damage.
So I was ordered to attack the Shadowkai, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess I'm using just a regular short sword, maybe
Yeah.
one that's like a fake-looking gutter or something.
Exactly.
And then I try to do something really fancy and flourishy, but it's really shitty.
Oh,
Which is why I rolled a 2.
Okay. The Shadowkai nimbly springs up after the withering blows of the axe blades rain down upon him by these demonic creatures. He dodges out of the way with a bit of a flourish of his cape and confounds you as you stand there perplexed.
Yes, and I say, "Oh no, I'm Dieth. I suck." Oh, is that the most Dieth thing you've ever seen? It's me, Dieth.
Paulton, what do you do when you see Dieth suck?
Like, seems par for the course. But Do I get the sense that these are? I mean, they're attacking. They're listening to Manshoon.
They are clearly obeying Manshoon. So either he has it. One of two possibilities: he has ensorcelled your friends, which is possible. He's a wizard, or these are not your friends.
Okay.
And being as you've had doppelganger encounters involved with the Zentarum, which Manshoon leads, you're inclined to believe the latter.
Cool. Great. They sent in the stunt doubles.
Yes.
Cool. So am I still in the grips of this thing?
You sure are.
Would I still be able to like cast with the ring? Or
There is nothing stopping you from taking actions. You just can't move. So you can still use the ring and do things while grappled.
So how many charges were on the ring?
20.
Total? 20. Okay. And risking the biscuit, remembering back to one of the last times I tried something new with the ring that they had suggested, how many charges would it be to try and summon that ice dragon?
You believe that that would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 charges.
Chris, I'd like to try and summon that ice dragon.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Do I add anything to the roll?
No, you don't have to roll.
What?
One ice dragon coming right up.
What?
Okay, so as you channel the power of the ring, you see all the blue veins go right up into your body, up your neck, around your neck, through your arms. You feel your heart just sort of stop, and then outside through the windows, all the windows sort of blow open as this cold gale rushes in, and the sky outside becomes very dark. And then you hear a roar from somewhere outside the inn.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
All right. You start to see a few, on the wind blowing in through the windows, some flakes of snow. All right.
Oh my god.
You see.
Oh, you missed it. Paulton summoned an ice dragon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Freezing.
All right.
Alden's like, oh. He's just like pointing at Manshoon, like, oh.
Manshoon holds out his metal arm, and a staff appears in it. It is a metal shod staff capped with sort of an arcane design. But he is still concentrating on that Big B's hand spell. You are not concentrating on your Big B's hand spell.
Oh yeah.
So it goes
That's fine.
Poof. He will, while concentrating on the spell, cast. I have to check that. No.
Expeditious retreat.
He is just going to basically stick you with the staff.
Ow.
And you feel a charge of energy rush through it as he attempts to attack you. That's you're grappled, so he has advantage on his attack roll. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. He does 14 points of force damage.
Okay. Okay.
As he sticks you with the end of his staff. And then the hand crushes you for another 15. So that's a total of 29 points on his turn.
Cool. Good.
All right. His demon monster things Oh, I forgot. The magician turns into a flock of ravens
Oh, it's so cool.
Cooler than doves.
and flies out the window.
Oh, god damn it.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Out of combat question. Do I see this dragon?
And is it snowing outside?
Snow is falling over Waterdeep. The summer sun has been blotted out by clouds. And suddenly you are very cold as the temperature drops about 10 degrees immediately. Then you hear this loud roar, and you're not exactly sure where it's coming from. And then you see this cold air in the skies over the castle ward coalesce into an ice dragon out of nothing.
That's where I'm going, as fast as possible.
All right. Yep.
I'm gonna sprout my ice wings and
Okay.
fly after her.
So
Yeah.
Wing- wings just come out of Gwyneth's back, and they begin to flutter with a sound of just like crunching paper. And she takes to the air
Cool.
toward the ice dragon. From the air, you can see that the sudden change in the weather, coupled with the appearance of the dragon, in a city that is not accustomed to seeing dragons or allowing dragons in their midst, has created widespread panic, Gwyneth. From your vantage point, you can see people running for any buildings they can get to. And it is getting colder every second. Okay. So I'll have the two of you roll initiative just so we can keep things straight. Miranda and Gwyneth.
Yay! Okay,
All right.
good. We're trying. We're getting there. I'm trying. I'm trying to get there. Oh, that's not a good one. That's no. Yeah. That's
Miranda?
Dirty.
5.
Oh,
5?
Yeah.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
Outstanding. Okay. So we went Manshoon. Next up is Doppelstrix. So Doppelstrix, you don't have spells.
Okay. I smell good.
So you can basically bash things. You can bash things with your fake staff.
Okay. In a very probably like unlike Strix manner, this doppelganger is incredibly brave and just runs in and starts trying to hit Paulton with her staff.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add 6.
Okay. That's 17.
That hits Paulton.
I'm sorry.
And actually, you would have advantage because he's grappled. So roll again in case you get a crit.
Just in case.
You
I
probably
did
will.
not. I
Okay.
did not.
So then roll a d6 and add 4. That's how much damage you do.
All right. Okay, so that's only 5 damage.
5 damage to Paulton.
Yeah. And she's just like, "Ah!"
It's just like a bonk on the head, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, ow!
It's sharp. At least now you know that, watch out for those edges.
And actually, I realized doppelgangers get 2 attacks. So yeah, you would have had a second, but no matter. Go ahead.
do I
Go. Yes, you get to hit him again with your staff.
Dude hits me the first time, just like, don't do it again.
That's only a 15.
Don't do it again.
What's Paulton's AC?
15. Do I hit?
Armor class is 15.
Okay.
So I hit.
D6 plus 4. Wow, Doppelstrix is really scary.
Yeah. I did 8 damage. It's sharp. That staff is sharp. It's got edges.
Like, stop!
Okay.
That's more annoying than anything.
Wow, Nate, I didn't know this was going to be your last show.
Evelyn?
And again, you definitely know it's her because she smells good.
Or rather, Doppel-Evelyn?
Does the fact that winter has fallen over Waterdeep maybe alert the actual?
I'll get to those at the bottom of the initiative round.
Just real
Winter
worried.
is fallen.
All right, Doppel Evelyn. What has Manshoon told her to do now that the magician is gone?
Now he's telling you to set your sights on Paulton.
She has all of her normal weapons, but they're not magical.
Correct. So she has a normal greatsword.
Does she have also her normal great axe?
Her normal battle axe.
Yeah, battle axe. Is
Yeah,
what I meant.
she does. And a fake emoji shield. That doesn't actually.
No.
It
turn
only
any-
has one expression. It's just like a vacant
It's just
smiley face.
anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I just feel like a doppelganger Evelyn would use her battle axe, but it's
Sure.
technically okay.
You can use it two-handed too if you want.
Yeah.
You'll do D10 instead of D8s
She
with
throws down the fake emoji shield
it.
and uses it two-handed.
Okay.
Her first attack is 12.
That does not. But you get it. Sorry, you have advantage because Paulton is grappled. So roll again
I'm trying, Nate. I'm trying.
and add 6.
17. Add 6
Add 6.
to my already modifiers?
No, just the D20 plus 6.
Oh, instead of my +9.
Correct.
With my battle axe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All the
Okay,
all the
so
doppelgangers are plus 6 on their attacks.
14.
14 is a miss. Your second attack.
She's just wildly swinging. That was my second attack.
Okay, actually, it came dangerously close with a 14. And your first attack was what total?
First attack would have been with a 6-9.
Okay, great. So 2 misses. Both your blows bounce off of the metal gauntlet that seems to be crushing Paulton in its grasp.
Just a little buzzing bee, like, oh, can
Yes.
she fly if she doesn't have magic?
She can't, so she's just sort of trotting across the ground.
Dunk, 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 dunk.
If she's running. That's got to
Yes.
set off all kinds of alarms.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Miranda, you are making a beeline for the dragon. You've got. It's going to take you a while to get there unless you like hitch a ride, or there are horse-drawn coaches that pull people through the streets, like hansoms or drays, and then there are just. So you could essentially either. Probably your best bet is to commandeer one of those,
Okay.
unless you can fly
I
or move
will-
quickly.
Well,
I
what?
was gonna use 2 hidden paths,
Oh, okay.
just 120 feet.
Yeah. So strange for you to use this in the city, but you do it. And so you make your way through the city, getting closer and closer and closer. It gets colder and colder and colder as you approach the dragon, which will act on Paulton's next turn. The rest of the Waffle crew, Evelyn, you're done skimming across the water and are sort of flying over the dock ward when you see all the clouds magically form, blotting out the sun in the sky, which is very alarming. But then when the temperature suddenly drops, you're a little bit surprised. Magic must be afoot. Then when you hear the coalescing wind gather into the form of a roaring dragon made of entirely of ice, your worst fears take hold. But the dragon itself is there. You have no idea where Paulton is.
Oh no, not this again. Absolutely not. She sets her jaw and she goes zoom right after the dragon. And I would think that if she does, maybe she meets up with Miranda and Gwyneth.
Possibly. I'm going to have you make a perception check as you race toward the dragon.
8.
Okay. Possibly.
More characteristic of Evelyn.
Dieth, you are upstairs in your room, looking at the chest.
He's like
Your
sitting
arch
cross-
nemesis.
He's like sitting on the floor, crossing the chest, on like just cross-legged, arms folded, or just kind of staring at it to be like, "How am I going to do this?"
Window blows open. Snow comes in. Just a few flakes. One of them lands right on your eyeball. Boink. And you hear the roar of a dragon. It gets very cold.
As does Dieth internally. Like, yeah, he's been around the magic enough to know exactly.
He's felt this
Like-
cold before.
Yeah, and then right away, if he doesn't already have his equipment, he immediately like grabs it and puts it on, and just yells for Strix as loud as he possibly can, so wherever she is within the house, can hear him. And then from Dieth's window,
Mhm.
are there nearby rooftops or a way down to the street? Because he's in such immediate urgency that he doesn't want to even bother going downstairs to the front door. He just wants to go out the window and like towards this.
Yes, there is a balcony below him he's on the 4th floor, a balcony below him on the 2nd floor outside Waffle's den that he could easily scamper down and from there to the street.
Yep. So that's what he does.
Okay.
Parkour.
Yeah, exactly. That's precisely what it looks like. He parkours down the side of the building and lands on the cobblestone street. All right.
And then,
when-
cutting action,
Yes.
dash, the fastest possible, super fast sprinting.
Okay. You see ice forming on the conical rooftops of some of the tallest buildings.
Yeah, at that point, he's pushing himself to his upper limits.
Okay. Strix, you
and-
heard Diath scream your name.
All right,
aloud.
and it's not the you did something bad, like funny bad, but it's the things are really bad kind of scream. So yeah, she'll just look at Albie and just be like, please take the pie out of the oven, and then or no, it's already at the other pies. She'll grab a couple of the good berry pies and just like stuff them into her robe and just
Okay.
like run outside, push Squidly back in the door, close the door.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
When you run outside, you feel the cold air.
Ugh. But yeah, she's not even like really acting like her usual panic self. Like this is like,
Yeah.
if we don't fix this, things are gonna get really bad. So she like pushes them in, closes the door, might even lock the door, like from the outside. Like maybe she's had a key this whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. She pulls
It
out,
locks.
and she just reflexively grabs the key.
Yeah, and she's like, huh, and then turns her staff into a broom and just immediately takes off.
Okay. Leaving a big cloud of black smoke behind you as you take to the air.
And she'll just follow Dieth from the top and from above. To see where
Evelyn, you would see the distant smoke trail of Strix's broom coming up into the sky, but she's well and truly on the far side of the city.
Evelyn is reassured by this, and she's
Yes.
just like, all right, but she stays the course. She knows that means Strix will be there soon.
All right.
Waffle crew assemble.
Yes. For sanity's reasons, I'm going to now that we're at
Waffle crew symbol using a universal signal.
now that
Nice
we're at the bottom of the initiative, I'm going to start.
Signal for danger.
I'm going to assume that you and your doppelgangers are acting on the same round, just for my own sanity.
Sure.
But before that happens, Durnan leaps over the bar, drawing a black
Yay!
a black-handled long or great sword that he has hidden behind the bar, and he will bear the great sword at Manshoon and say, "Release him."
Oh, Durnan. Oh, honey. No.
Oh no. Oh, Durnan's strong.
And Durnan seems pretty firm. You don't attack his musicians, particularly his gifted ones. And Gwyneth, what would you like to do based on your realization that this ice dragon has formed, and you know instinctively that it was formed using the same magic that created you?
Is there any way for me to know where the source came from?
You can, because you are a cold creature, basically move. You can track the temperature change and always move to where it's coldest, and that is basically a straight line pointing you at a place in the heart of the city.
And can I see Miranda from where I am?
You lose her in the streets. The buildings are so tall, it's hard, and she's also zapping, like poof, poof, disappearing from sight. You've lost sight of her. You also reckon that the source, the destination you're bearing down on, is basically right below the dragon.
I'll keep heading towards the dragon, since
Okay.
I know that's where Miranda's headed.
Okay. You can cover a good amount of distance, just a straight shot. Little flakes of ice coming off behind you. And the snow starts to get a little heavier, falling from the sky. Diath and Doppeldiath, Let's deal with Doppeldieth first. Get him out of the way.
Sure.
You have 2 attacks coming on Paulton. Actually, no. Manshoon has you turn on Durnan.
Okay. And you see Doppeldieth then like tries to do like a roll towards Durnan, trying to be as deathly as possible, but he just kind of like before actually rolling, he like gets down onto his butt first, and then like eggs up, and then like rolls over and crawls up, and he's like, "I'm Dieth," and then attacks him twice.
It's like one of those kindergarten cartwheels.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically that. Like his hands go down, just. Tis I, the Hokage.
It is the
Oh
real
yeah,
Dieth.
it's him.
I knew it.
Go ahead and make your 2 attacks plus 6 on each.
One is 16, the other is 24.
Okay, both pierce Durnan. You can see underneath his shirt, Durnan has what appears to be some elven chainmail, but you're able to get through that armor and wound him both times.
All right, so then I'm just rolling d6 for short sword.
Yep, d6 plus 4.
Plus 4, okay. Let's see, so it'll be a total of 15 total.
Durnan looks at you, Paulton, and says, I think I feel an insect biting me.
Oh, dang. Ooh.
Just called your ass irrelevant, Dieth.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear.
I've got nothing to follow it up with.
Oh, shit. Okay, I gotta look up Durnan's weapon here, because it's gonna be business soon.
I got Chris to oh shit. So
Yeah.
it was good.
I wish everyone watching on stream right now could see Chris's table, as he has like 3 or 4 different.
Yes. I have Tomb of Annihilation, I have Curse of Strahd, I have Dragon Heist, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, DMG, all relevant.
Oh my god.
Too many. That's too many.
Also, oddly,
It's
the stream
stressful.
can't see it, but the information from the books are actually like slowly floating towards Chris's brain.
Exactly. Yes.
It's really, yeah,
The letters
Okay.
glow. Right.
Yep.
right.
Right. Next. So that was Doppeldieth. Real Dieth. You're booking.
Yeah.
You realize you can get there a lot quicker if you steal a couch.
I will not.
Okay. I figured you wouldn't, but I'd ask.
How dare.
Yep. Captain Dieth Woodrow does not steal.
Would it not just be authority seizing a necessary vehicle?
Don't.
He moves pretty fast, Dieth, when he wants
Yeah,
to.
I'm pretty quick.
Yep. You can move this-
Um,
All right, so you're darting, just darting and parkouring your way through the streets.
yeah. So, how far away is the yawning portal from where I am?
I'm glad you asked, because I have the map somewhere under this mound of insane books. There we go. So, from Troll Skull Alley to the Yawning Portal, you are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks. So,
Okay.
a good hike. Basically, you have to run down Delzorin Street to the high road, then follow the high road all the way down to Snail Street, and then dodge through Snail Street to get to the Yawning Portal, which
Okay,
is
and I
on.
still have. Would I know enough shortcuts through my City Secrets background feature to be able to?
Hell yes. Somehow
Ooh.
you can fold space in the city, just like this.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
Rex is flying
That's
above
the
and is like,
secret.
whoa, he disappeared and he's over there
Holy
now.
shit. Yeah, so Dieth is making rocket time. Dieth, you think you'll be there next round.
Okay, great. And I'm just like breathing in like cold air the entire time, so like the
Yes.
lungs kind of start
Yes.
to burn with like
Yes.
that weird coldness feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing you notice is that as the little particles of snow fall toward the ground, they don't quite sit on the ground. They just sort of, they become slower and slower and slower until they stop, and then they begin to make their way up.
That can't be good. That just can't be good.
Oh no.
Oh god, we're so screwed.
Oh no.
I'm
That's
so
probably-
glad I'm back for this episode.
Look, what have you wrought?
I didn't do it.
Okay, so next up is Paulton Seppa. Your
Okay.
dragon comes crashing through the roof of the yawning portal, tearing it asunder.
Yes.
Durnan's like, oh, crap! As large chunks of the ceiling cascade and fall all around you. You're grappled, so you're not doing anything. I need the doppelgangers to make dexterity saving throws.
It's just plus. What is it plus for them?
That's a good question. So for them, it's +4.
10.
I got a 9.
Fail.
Good.
Oh, I got 19.
Success.
Damn it.
Evelyn?
I was 10.
Oh, 10, sorry. All right. As the roof of the yawning portal collapses and falls inward, since most of the people had previously evacuated or moved into other safe areas, very few were hurt. However, both Doppel Evelyn and Doppelstrix get crushed by falling rubble.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My body.
They're both still alive, but knocked prone and under debris. And
Oh, this debris.
they are both bloodied.
Oh shucks.
Doppeldieth,
Disappointed.
Doppeldieth, you take half damage and are not buried or knocked prone.
I did a dodge.
The demon creatures, the debris falls around them, but appears to have no effect on them. It just sort of bounces off harmlessly. And Manshoon also has to make a saving throw.
I hope he gets smushed.
He'll take some damage regardless.
Whoops, we broke the yawning portal.
Sorry, Darnay.
Another icon in the realms destroyed by Waffle Crew.
All right, Manshoon makes a saving throw and takes half damage as well and is knocked prone. This is the second amount of damage he's taken as bits of the ceiling and roof collapse down upon him. Paulton, miraculously, you were not in any area of debris. It's like the dragon somehow knew not to damage you. And now this big-ass ice dragon is in your midst. What would you like it to do?
What can it do?
Hells if you know. It's a big dragon made of ice.
All right, I don't really know what it can do, so
It can attack, it can fly, it can roll over, and it can sit.
all right, I'll command the dragon, just look around, be like, all right, Bessie, sick 'em.
All right.
I wanted to see it roll over.
Play dead.
After combat.
It can also play dead. All right. You're not specifying a target, so it will pick one. Do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, 7. There's 7. How inconvenient. Okay. 4, 1, 2, 3. Durnan.
For what it's worth,
Terrible.
I didn't specify Manshoon, but I definitely meant Manshoon. I guess that's fine. I know for future reference.
The dragon will attempt to bite Durnan, succeeding.
Bessie, no!
Ah!
Mean.
Durnan is still alive. Then it will claw him twice.
Bessie, can I just repeatedly point at Manshoon and be like, that one!
Yeah, and then it will once it gets through its thick, icy head, who you actually meant after Durnan takes a pile of damage. Wait, 13. Okay. Durnan is still not bloodied after being raked by 2 claws and bitten by the ice dragon, who then takes its tail and tries to slap Manshoon across the room.
Yeah.
All right. Manshoon is struck. He takes 15 points of damage and is sent careening all the way across the tavern into a wall. And his spell is broken.
Sweet.
The gauntlet disappears.
Can I do something then?
You sure can.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna. So who's who's immediately on me then? Is it the doppelgangers?
It is.
Oh, they're prone though.
So they're buried under rubble and prone, but they're right next to you. Doppeldieth switched his target to Durnan, but he's also he's the next closest target who isn't buried to you. But there are also the big demon guys who act right after you.
But
And they have duplicates, 3 duplicates each, so there appears to be 8 of them, but there are in fact only 2.
Okay, so then you'd say that all my targets are probably within 15 feet of me?
Probably.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and do a 6th level Thunder Wave.
Kaboom!
We're just destroying the yawning portal.
Oh, well, sure it's faring better than Port 9 Zaru.
Fair. That's a
The day's still young.
save 17.
Right. So Doppeldieth, your con save bonus is +2 against that 17.
Okay.
And actually, Doppelstrix and Doppel-Evelyn, you're in the range too, so +2
All right.
saving throws.
I am Death. I will dodge it, and he like dives towards.
Yeah, I got a 3.
15 for me.
I rolled 8.
Okay, what's your DC there, Nate?
17.
Okay, so all of them failed. The 2 demons also failed.
Cool.
So roll your damage.
All right. Time to do math. So we got 1, 2, 3. Uh, 8. So that is a total of 34.
All right. Doppeldieth is looking very hurt.
I took like 2 damage.
Doppelstrix,
Death.
Doppelstrix and Doppel-Evelyn are killed by the sonic blast.
Woo!
And all 3 of them are hurled backward away from you. The demons,
When the doppelgangers die, do they revert back to their true forms?
they do. So you see Doppelstrix and Doppel-Evelyn now in their true doppelganger forms.
Gross.
DDF be like, oh my god, those were doppelgangers. Paulton, friend Paulton.
Who would have thunk it?
All right. And that's Paulton's turn. Handrew. What would you like Handrew to do? He's just sort of scuttling around on the floor right now.
So are any of the targets standing, or is everyone kind of prone?
Everybody's been knocked back 10 feet, including the demons and their doubles.
Cool. I want to take Andrew and actually, let me see. Okay, just got to pull up another quick email. No, nothing.
Actually, while you're doing that, Simon is going to sort of grab the legs of the table and just sort of drag it across the floor so he can stay under it until he makes his way over to a safe spot, skirting around the debris as he goes.
He's a good boy.
Cool. Sounds easy or small attack home. I'm gonna pick up Andrew.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold him.
Okay, you got him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for Nate. Next up is the demons. They are going to come at you, Paulton Seppa,
Okay.
Lord of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 Great Axe attacks. They have nothing between you and them, so they'll just come at you.
Okay.
One of them hits you twice.
What were they? The rolls?
Oh, the rolls are 27 and 25.
Okay, so one of them hits me twice.
Okay. Oops, wrong dice. Dun, 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 dun. Where are my d12s? One hit does 17 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and the other hit does 21 for a total of 38.
Okay, I'm gonna use cutting words again
Okay.
and take a D10 off of that.
Okay. 38
So-
minus
38 minus 10.
28.
Cool. Still hurts a lot.
The second one will do the same. This one is rolling a 27 and a 20.
I only get one reaction per turn.
Correct.
Don't
Yes.
I? Okay. Well, it's been real.
So that one does. Oops, wrong dice again. Fuck. I have an aversion to rolling d12s for some reason. The first attack does 19, and the second attack does 19 for a total of 38.
Cool. I am down.
Okay. You collapse underneath the withering blows and fall unconscious.
Cool.
Manshoon will race to your body and take the ring off your finger, or rather, try.
Please no.
Okay. Let's see. Who else for reals is in the room? None of you. Okay.
Great.
Burning.
Durnan, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And skip. Dip, 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 dip. Since there's nobody here for a real perspective of what's happening, I'm just going to jump to
Cool.
Strix,
Why me?
because you're next in the initiative order. You're bombing
Right.
along on your broom, flying through the air. You can see the dragon has crashed down into a building, which as you get closer, you recognize as the Yawning Portal.
Oh, okay.
And you do remember Paulton saying something about performing at the Yawning Portal earlier that morning.
Okay. I'm putting it together.
Yeah.
And I've gotten ahead of Dieth, right?
Uncertain.
Okay. Okay. I remember the last time that I went into an inn where Paulton was in it with the Ring of Winter, and it did not turn out well. And my brain gears slowly come to remember that. And I am just going to look and see where Dieth is and just kind of just follow him.
Okay. Make a perception check to spot Dieth.
Because the last time I went into the inn by myself, things were real bad. That's a 16.
Okay, you do catch sight of him moving with blinding speed, parkouring his way through the alleys and streets in record pace, and finding passages you, who have lived in the city most of your life, did not even know existed.
Ooh.
That's neat.
Can I do something
Yep.
additional?
Sure.
This whole time, I am blowing my horn of secret danger
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Nice.
to alert Strix and Evelyn of my presence and where I'm direction and where I'm going, and be like, help, help, help.
Okay.
yeah. I'm not going to, I don't know what's in the inn. I don't know what's happening in the inn. I don't know. All I see is this dragon. And honestly, the best thing I can do is if I'm close enough to the dragon, I'm going to try to maybe polymorph it just to get it out of the way. Because I don't know whose dragon that is, and I don't want a dragon.
Okay, what's the range of your polymorph?
It is, let's see, pretty good, I think. It's 60 feet.
Okay, you're not in range.
Okay, well, I am just going to.
And at this point, it sort of disappears into the superstructure of the building.
Okay.
Its tail is the last thing you see as it goes down into it and
Okay.
begins thrashing around.
All right. Okay. Well, then I'm going to do the second best thing that I can do, which is, oh God, you know what? If I can't see inside the inn, can I? No, wait, I'm too far away. God damn it.
Yeah, you'd have to
Okay.
have a long range spell or something.
Then I'll just like swing by Dieth and just slap him a death ward.
Okay.
There, you're death warded. And
Yeah.
I'm looking around for Evelyn to see if she's there for a death ward too, if I don't see her.
Oh, sorry.
So as Strix does that, Dieth will, as he's running, will say, Strix, please, no matter what, just stay close and stay in sight.
And she's like, okay.
Stay with the others.
Okay. Next up is, let's see, Evelyn Marthane. All right. So Evelyn, you are now within range of the inn. You saw Strix's trail coming toward the inn, and then it suddenly plunged down somewhere into the city several blocks away. Reasons unknown. But then you got the blaring horn of Diath sounding off, and you suddenly realize, Strix is doing her death ward trick.
And do I gather at this point that we're all heading for the yawning portal, or
Yes,
am I?
absolutely.
Okay.
There's no question.
Does Evelyn know that Paulton was supposed to perform at the yawning portal?
Yes. Once she saw the dragon sort of plunge down into the yawning portal, she put the pieces together as quickly as Strix did.
She dives into the yawning portal.
All right. Then you are the first. Oh, make a perception check.
I hope you do a 3-point hero landing.
Oh, totally. Perception is 12.
Okay, you see before you go down into the inn, you see two people outside of it. A woman made of ice with beautiful wings flying from the opposite direction, also toward the inn. You've never seen her before, but she looks like another ice construct, like something the ring must have made. You also see Miranda in the street outside below, and you haven't seen her since Chult.
So Evelyn's like on a mission, then she sees the ice lady and she's like, ooh, pretty wings.
Focus.
And then she sees Miranda and she's like, oh, my flower child. And then she's like, Paulton, and she's like, hi Miranda, I miss you just a second. And she dives in.
Okay. Then Evelyn, you are there when Manshoon puts the Ring of Winter on his finger. And the dragon turns to attack Manshoon, and Manshoon just holds up its hand like this, and the dragon stops. And he says, "You're mine now."
Evelyn does not like the Ring of Winter at all. She has a very visceral reaction to it. So
Just for my own entertainment, at least in my head canon, can the dragon come down to bite him, and then Manshoon with the ring just gives up?
Yeah, that works.
Perfect. That fits the head canon much better.
Done.
Trying to make
That,
him.
that's now canon. Evelyn, you also,
And then half of Waterdeep.
Evelyn, you see Paulton lying just absolutely massacred at Manshoon's feet.
I was laughing because I think this is probably a bad idea, but this is what Evelyn's gonna do. She's going to, she dives bombs in, she sees the ring, she's gonna go plant her feet on his shoulder, grab the ring on his finger, and just, brace like a child trying to pull this ring or his finger.
Okay.
completely
Yeah,
off.
so you, as he's got his hand up like this to stop the dragon, you basically descend upon his arm and try to wrench the ring from his finger. Go ahead and make a strength check. Strength athletics. Just for giggles.
Dang it. It's only a 12.
Okay. So you...
Can't I get advantage for being really, really upset?
if only. Yeah, but you able, so you sort of reach and kind of grab hold of him, but he's able to sort of clench his fist and basically prevent the ring from being removed. And you can see that
this tiny little,
if it were, yeah, this tiny little girl basically trying to rip his fingers off. You can see if it were maybe like a normal hand, you'd be able to pry his fingers open, but when that metal hand is clenched, it is tight.
Well, and she has her feet like on his shoulder like this, and she has her hands like yeah.
Exactly. Miranda, Gwyneth, you are now within sight of this building. The Yawning Portal is a large, rambling, multi-story tavern that now looks in shambles. Most of its rooftop collapsed. Snow falling all around you slowly. You can hear the dragon inside crunching furniture, beams, whatever is down there. You saw Evelyn, who Miranda you recognize, plunge into the building, and you can hear her grunting away inside there. You can also hear the backfire of Strix's broom, and you see her race up above the buildings once again, coming very close to the building now. And you can see Diath striding out of through alleys, out into the street, now just within a breath of reaching the outside of the yawning portal. And that's, Miranda, when a portal forms in the air near you, in front of the yawning portal. A big spiraling gate opens up, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex
What?
drops through
Hidden pathways. I want to be out of there.
with a rider on its back. And you see this resplendent woman in golden armor, her majesty undiminished by the weather, by the gray, by the snow. And that's where we'll stop.
Oh! Oh! Hi, guys.
Hey.
Is Paulton dead?
We'll find out next week for part 2 of this spectacle, during which Christina Ariel Tigner will be rejoining us in her role as Alessandra Ray Burton.
Yes.
How do you make a portal for a T-Rex? Where are the components for that?
Oh my gosh. I love that Chris is just like, let's do all of it at once.
Let's have 11 things to deal with in combat. 11. No,
Paulton-
12.
Paulton, for a split second, has enough consciousness to look around and say, "We're in the end game now."
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we're out of time, so that's why I sort of picked this moment to stop. But I wanted to thank Rachel and Erica for joining us, and I do hope you can return next week
Oh, yeah.
for the continuation of this story. And I look forward. I can't wait for Christina to join this gang
Oh gosh.
So many people.
once more. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Infinity Wars.
You say fun.
Yeah, why
I
is,
say
the, why
ow.
is the dream real now? That was scary. That was scary.
Yeah, it's almost like the dream was a portent.
It's almost like they all were.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
All right. Any announcements before we break off for the week?
Love you guys.
Yeah, so I'll be streaming rolling a new character sometime this week. So
No, I got you. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. Don't
Yeah,
worry
I have
about
raised dead. It's quick. It's fine.
this. Yeah, we got this. It's fine.
I am starting a new role-playing show where we're playing Starfinder on Dark Galaxies Gaming. It starts at 6:30 on Tuesdays. But I know one of our cast members is having internet problems for the premiere, so as far as I know, we're streaming something, but maybe not the premiere tonight, but we will be there at that time soon. A new game where I play an ace mechanic pilot named Carmen.
Oh yeah, I saw the art for that. It looks really good.
Yeah, she thinks machines are better than people, and she has a little spider drone named Io.
Oh.
Other than that, people have been asking about PAX appearances. We did a live game at PAX. You can currently watch it on twitch.tv/PAX under their videos, but if you want to wait, I've been told that the video will be up on YouTube by tomorrow morning at the latest. It might be up already. I have no idea. But it has been delivered. Unfortunately, they asked the Waffle Crew Anything panel was not streamed. I told you it would be. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon.
And we told all of our secrets, and you'll never know.
Everything secret.
But I suggest that you go to the subreddit where lots of people have told some of the things that we talked about in that, and I'm sure you could ask or start a thread for people to reconstruct some of the answers from that. And I don't know, Diath / Jared how do we find the subreddit?
Yeah, where could you find that subreddit?
I don't know. How would I get there with my computer?
Right. If there's only like if you needed to find that, say, multiple times in a row whilst no one else can speak,
Yeah,
all
I
I would
would-
need to do is spam that link.
You.
All right. Well, if that's all the announcements, Holly is sick, and I'm sure she wants to get, well
I'm
again
fine.
soon. So,
I'll be fine.
I'm fine.
Go to the subreddit and please speculate.
Yes, please
Or
speculate. We'll be back next week for Ring Wrath Part 2. It's going to be an action bonkazonks crazy session. That's all I can say.
Yay!
Yay.
Ah.
Yay.
All right. Until then, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.